Hi everybody, this is BookLooms, and today we are going to be making this crayon box on our Alpha Loom. This is going to be my first ever Alpha Loom tutorial, and today the supplies you will need is you will need an Alpha Loom, and for the looping part you can either choose to use your Rainbow Loom hook, or you could use the Alpha comb that comes with the Alpha Loom. Today I am going to be using my Rainbow Loom hook for the looping. As for the colors of bands, Rainbow Loom has released a bunch of awesome new Alpha Loom bands. Up here, for the crayons, I used the Alpha Loom bands. Unfortunately, when I placed my order, I forgot to order yellow bands and green bands. Yellow and green alpha bands. So today I will just be using the regular Rainbow Loom neon yellow bands and the regular Rainbow Loom, I think these are the dark green or the forest green bands. However, if you are using the alpha bands, that is awesome too. But I really like how the yellow is very bright and it gives off a vibrant color. For the crayon colors, I will be using the alpha bands. So I'll be using yellow bands, dark blue bands, red bands, and pink bands. You will also need C-clips to complete this design. You could use the clear C-clips, or you could use the colorful C-clips. Also, one more thing you will need is you will need the tie bands, or the clear bands that come with the Alpha Loom. This is the pattern that I have made up for the crayon box, and because I am using the regular Rainbow Loom bands, each time that I put a band on the Alpha Loom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cap it over once like this. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to place it on the loom. Like this. But if you are using a regular alpha band, you would not have to cap it. All you would do is place it straight across. So here I have a regular alpha band. So if you are just using all alpha bands, you don't have to double the band over. All you'll do is place it straight across. So now let's start laying out the bands for our design. So for this design, we are going to go up and down each row. And I also have a pen to mark off where we do each row, so then we won't lose track. So what we are going to do first is we are simply going to lay X's across our Alpha Loom. And you want to make sure the side with the keyhole is facing you. So what we are going to do is this will be the only time that we don't cap the band. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the band and we're going to make an X and we'll push it down. And now we'll take another yellow, make an X, push it down. Another yellow, X, and push it down. And now the pattern calls for some green bands. So now we are just going to take, this is a regular band, but this is the one time that I am not going to make a capping band. We're just going to take it and we are going to make an X. So now that we've laid one row down, what we're going to do is we are going to take one of our clear tie bands and we are going to place it on either side of our loom. It does not matter which one. So now we've completed the first row, and I always just like to mark off my row when I place it on the loom. So I'm just going to make a little mark there. So we've laid out that row. So now we are on to our second row. And like I said, because I'm using the regular Rainbow Loom band, I'm going to take it on my hook and twist it once. And then I'm going to place it on the loom. If you are using a regular yellow alpha band, all you would do once again is you would just place it straight across. So now we're going to repeat it. Take a band, twist it on our hook, place it across. So our pattern calls for 5 yellow bands and 2 green bands. So I'm just taking it, twisting it on my hook, and placing it back on the loom. And it looks like this band fell off. So if that happens, all we have to do is we'll just lift this band up for now. And what we will do is we will just take our band, make an X, and now we'll pull this back to the end. And now what we'll do is we will take our 2 forest green bands, we will make a cap band, and now let's just make sure that we've laid out everything on our pattern. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow bands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. And then we have 2 forest green bands. So we can check that off. So now what we have to do is I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. So you guys see this clear band right here? What we have to do each time that we have 2 sets of bands on the loom is we have to take this over. So we're just going to pull it over into the center. And now, because I am using the regular Rainbow Loom bands, you will see the set of 1 band and the set of 2 bands. If you are using alpha bands, you will only see 2 sets of 1 band, so that's fine. So what we're going to do is we are just going to reach over and we are going to grab this single band and we will pull it into the center. And you can also use the alpha comb for this if you wish. And now on the other side, we will pull the other band. So we're just going for the bottom band. So now we'll want to turn our loom again so that our keyhole is facing us. And what we'll want to do is, because we have 1 set of bands on the loom, we will want to place another tie band, like this. So now what we're going to do is we are going to continue on with our pattern. So this is our 3rd row. So this row calls for 6 yellow bands and 1 forest green band. So now I'm just capping my band on my hook. patterns, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we have 6 yellow bands and 1 green band. So now we can check it off. And now, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to lift this tie band into the center. And now, because I am using the regular rainbow loom bands, I will have 2 sets of 2 bands. So I am going for the first set of 2. So now for the next 3 rows, what we are going to do is we are just going to be using our yellow capped bands or your yellow alpha bands. So it's just going to be very repetitive, so we'll just take our band, tap it around our hook. You know what? I forgot a very important step. What we have to do, because we have 1 set of bands on the loom, is we have to put on our tie band. So now what we can do is we are just going to cap our band and we'll place it on the loom. So now what we'll do is we will get our tie band and we will loop it over.
And now we will reach it into the bottom 2 bands, or the bottom 1 band if you're using alpha bands, and we will loop over.
So now we can check this off. And now we can continue with 2 more rows of just yellow bands. So the first thing we'll do is place on our tie band. And now we can start laying our yellow bands. So now we can lift our tie band over and we can loop our bands. And we can take our tie band, lift it over, and start to loop. So we are checking our pattern. It looks good, so we can check it off. And then we will take our tie band, reach it over, and now we'll start to loop. So now we will make sure that the keyhole is facing us. We will place another alpha band on. And now what we can do is we are going to use 2 green bands at the end of our loom. So we're just taking our cap bands or your regular alpha band, placing them on the loom. Now we are going to switch over to our 2 green bands. So I capped it on my hook.
I'll place it over, tap it on the hook.
And now we will take our tie band over. We will check this one off. And now we can loop. So now we are at our last row. So what we're going to do is we are going to cap 3 yellow bands and then 4 green bands. Oh, and we want to put on our tie band. So we'll just stretch it across. And now we want to cap the last 4 orange bands. I meant last 4 green bands, not last 4 orange bands. I don't know where orange came from. So now we will take our tie band, loop it over, and now we will loop over So once we get to this part of the project, please have your C-clips ready. So for now, you will need 7 C-clips. So what we're going to do is we will just take our bands and we are going to place them on the peg opposite it. So now we'll flip the loom around so that it looks like this. And what I like to do is I like to slide the C-clip down until we can tell that it's grabbed both of the sets of bands. So now everything is secured and we can take our crayon box off of the Alpha Loom. So when you take your crayon box off of the Alpha Loom, this is what it will look like. And when you turn it to the side, it becomes a crayon box. If you would like the green bands to look a little bit neater, what you can do is you can thread the green bands through your hook like this, and then what you can do, a single green band, you can thread everything through. And you can just make a slip knot. And then we'll hide it in the back. So now we can work on adding the crayons. And this is what the back of my other one looks like. And just to let you guys know, on my project, a band actually snapped. I tried to save it, but this was the best that I could do. But as long as you followed the pattern and was really careful, your band shouldn't snap. I think that I was just going a little too fast and I should have slowed down. So, this is what mine looks like. And so to make the crayons, we are going to be using the Alpha Loom bands. And I will be making 3 crayons with you today. And you could always add more or less, whichever you'd like. So we'll just take a band, we'll wrap it around 3 times. Then we'll take 2 more bands. Place this back on our hook. Two more bands. And then what we can do is, you know what, we will add 1 more set. Then what we can do is we will take a single of that color, pull it through, and we will make a slip knot. So this is 1 crayon. So now we'll do the same for another one. So now we have a slip knot. And now we will make one more. And make our slip knot. So now what we can do, what I want to do is I just want to take a single white band, like this, and then I also want to take a C-clip, like this. So now what I want to do is I want to get this to stay on like this. And then we will want to place the other side of the C-clip over here. This is what the crayons will look like. And to secure it further, what we can do is we can place a C-clip around this. So now, here is our crayon box. And you kind of just got to keep playing with it to get it to where you want it to stay. So this is good for now. And thank you guys. Oh, one more thing. We just want to get rid of this band. So you can reach in anywhere you'd like. And all we will do is just pull that band through. And here's our crayon box. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. And please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And please show me your crayon boxes on Instagram and subscribe. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.